don't really watch anime or like it. I also don't really review characters on this channel. But I can bend my own rules, and this is what this video is about. The beauty of Sakura, how she's overhated and underappreciated in the fandom and in the show, is what I wrote down 2 years ago when I first got this idea for the video. So this is how I rewrite it today. I rarely watch anime and I barely review characters on my channel, but it's good to switch it up sometimes. This video is about the beauty of Sakura Haruno. Let's get started. Sakura has always been one of my favorite characters when I first saw the show. She has a sassy but sharp-minded personality that I love. I'll be talking about 3 main reasons why people may not like her and proving those claims false. Let's get started. Section 1. Sakura is annoying, aka her personality. People often say that Sakura is annoying or something about her personality. Yes, she could get carried away with her crush on Sasuke or her hating on Naruto, but she has so many good traits that people often miss or dismiss, like her caring and compassionate side and her great determination. Not to also forget how big Sakura's heart is. These get highlighted in the show, yet people often miss it. Okay, to start, a lot of Sakura's personality has to do with age. A lot of people talk about how annoying she is, especially in part 1, but she was literally 12 years old. A lot of people at that age are annoying, but at that age, you're starting to figure out your personality and who you are. Also, unlike Naruto and Sasuke, she hasn't went through any trauma, so she's acting like a normal kid would. Not to mention like puberty and like maturity levels. So taking in all these factors, it's not surprising that she acts this way when she's just acting like a kid going through life. Now, I know that Sakura has her flaws. Sometimes her pride can get in the way and she can be insensitive at times. But as the show goes on, she gains more empathy and doesn't let pride get in the way as much. We can see this when she sees how badly some others have it and when she becomes a medical ninja. As a medical ninja, we see how she grows as a person and as a fighter. She starts to really see how bad people's lives are and tries to save/help them, as we see with her interaction with Sasuke in part 2 and her opening a child mental health hospital in her personalized story. We also see this when she fights for poor people in part 1. All of this shows how empathetic and caring Sakura has become as time went on. Personally, I've always think she has been like caring and empathetic. I think it just got bigger as she like grew with age. I also want to mention how big Sakura's heart is. There's so many times where we can see like how like big her heart is, like her being in the hospital with Sasuke and cutting apples for him, her looking out for Sasuke when he had the curse mark, her taking care of Naruto and Sasuke during the tuning exams when they were like passed out, and her lying to Naruto about her feelings towards him just so she can protect him. That one was kind of like shady, but it came from a good place. She always does things like out of the goodness of her heart, and she's always like thought with her heart first, which leads her into trouble. But I feel like that's such like a good skill to have and such like a good trait to have, to like think with your heart, because sometimes like thinking with your heart ends with good, whether people say it is or not. Now, going back to what I said earlier, Sakura's determination. Sakura has great determination ever since she was little. She saw her teammates fight these monsters, aka like evil shinobis, as she sat back and watched. Sakura didn't want that life anymore, so she went to Tsunade and asked to be her apprentice. She then later became one of the strongest ninja out there. Personally, I wish they gave Sakura a different motive to becoming stronger other than it coming off as she wanting to become stronger because of guys. Like, I know she felt weak compared to her teammates, and I like that because it's relatable and realistic. But they should have dug deeper into it and made it more complex. Like, another factor for her wanting to become stronger was because she wasn't a part of a clan, and that's why she felt weak and behind. But I digress. Her becoming one of the most strongest ninja out there is aspiring, you can say, because she literally came from nothing. The whole show's narrative is about how you can achieve your dreams without having, like, advantages and perks and, like, coming from like really powerful and rich people, and Sakura is literally the definition of that. Sakura came from no clan, no tailed beast living inside her, no being a reincarnation of Diddy, no being a kid of a Hokage, and no Sharingan. She came from nothing. She had to work for every skill she had, and it paid off in the end, becoming one of the strongest ninjas out there and getting the 100s healing jutsu thing at the age of 16. So yeah, her determination is a great trait of hers, and I just don't get how people hate on her personality when she has all these good traits that I just said and is a good person. I get she can be insensitive and like boy crazy at times, but it's one of her flaws, and every character has them. So she shouldn't get hated on those tiny flaws when some characters who also have flaws, bigger ones even, get less hate. Section 2, Sakura and Sasuke. Now, I won't go too deep on Sasusaku, aka Sakura and Sasuke's ship name, because eventually I want to do a video specifically on them, but I am a shipper of them, so I could be a little biased. But another reason why people hate on her so much is because she married a guy who tried to kill her twice. Now, I'm not one to ignore red flags, okay? You know what? If I see a red flag in the real world, I'm making a run for it. Running for my life, ditching. So it kind of caught me off guard when I started doing my research for this video and I realized their toxicity. I mean, younger me realized it too, but I sort of forgot it when Sasuke apologized to her at the end of the war. I get people still not liking them because how can a girl marry a guy who tried to kill her twice and affected her a lot emotionally to the point where it carried on to adulthood? Like, if this was in the real world and I saw this playing out, I would definitely be side-eyeing. But Sakura has such a big heart. She loves everyone in her life and has such a soft spot for everyone in her life, especially Sasuke, which is a beauty to be able to forgive someone for their sins and see the good in them, to believe that they can come back from such a dark place and be a good person again, to still love someone even though they're so far gone. That is a skill that I don't know how people possess, and honestly, I think people are angels for that. I also think a lot of like Sasuke's like stuff can be sort of excused, but don't get the idea that I'm promoting toxicity and abuse. If this was real life, I would say make a run for it, get a restricting order, and run to the opposite side of the world. But I'm not also excusing Sasuke's behavior towards her in part 2. What he did was wrong and should have been resolved in a better way other than a small apology and looks of love and small gestures, which I know is his love language. But the show hated Sakura and like her relationship, so I doubt they wanted to do anything with it. I just wish they wrote it better, but it's a little too late for that now. Anyway, section 3, Sakura is weak and useless. I have a lot to say in this section. Every single time I hear useless and weak in the same sentence as Sakura, I get mad and start to tweak a little bit, because if we think about this logically, Sakura was set up to look bad. Let's start from the beginning. When the class passed the final test to become Genin, Sakura is placed in a group with Sasuke and Naruto, with Kakashi as their sensei. Through 2 of Kakashi's tests and a fight with Zabuza, the first main villain, we find out the skills level of each of the 4 main characters. Now, I'm going to list each of the 4 main characters' skills / overall view of the skills, and tell me if this is fair, okay? Naruto, high levels of chakra, has a 9-tailed beast living in him. Not really the smartest, but has a set jutsu that he uses. Sasuke, part of a clan, set jutsu, Sharingan, and pretty smart, aka general level IQ. Kakashi, highly skilled Jonin, a Sharingan, and multiple sets of jutsus, is so good that he has multiple nicknames after him. Sakura has the ability to control her chakra well and is smart. See how all 3 of them have a jutsu, an extra perk and another perk, and Sakura only has 1 perk? 2. See the disadvantage? Sakura was put in a group that had these amazing advantages that literally no one else could have access to, and even if she was put in a group that didn't have those advantages that Naruto and Sasuke did, she would still be portrayed as weak. This is because she came from no clan. So off the bat, she's put at a disadvantage because coming from no clan means you basically have no jutsus, aka a set jutsu that you use. You don't have an advantage in battles, so yeah, you're gonna be seen as useless. Not to mention that she could have been used in battles if the writers / studio gave her a chance. Sakura is established as textbook smart, and she has the ability to control her chakra really well. But this was rarely ever used. They could have made Sakura the one to make plans or find solutions during battles, but they never did that. Instead, they made her the one to defend the victim or the one that needed to be safe. This happened a lot in the show, and it always made me mad because Sakura had a lot of opportunities to shine, and she was never given the chance. She had one big time and a couple of little moments in part 1 to shine and show her skills, even then she had to be saved. When the writers/studios damn well could have gave her a time where she was in battle and didn't need to be saved at the end of the day. I'm specifically talking about her during the tuning exams, because even though there were times where she wasn't used, aka what I was just talking about right now, there were times where she did get used, like the tuning exams. The tuning exams were tests that turned the winner of the exams into chunin, the next level of like shinobis. No one from Team 7 won the exams, but someone on a different team did, aka Shikamaru. The tuning exams are a little bit questionable, but it did give us good fights, like Gaara and Lee, Sasuke and Orochimaru, and of course Sakura and the Sound Ninja. She has another battle with Inu, but I'll talk about that later. But now let's focus on Sakura versus the Sound Ninja. Now, a bit of backstory to the battle. Team 7 is set into the Forest of Death to collect 3 scrolls in a matter of 3 days, or they'll fail. So around day 2 or so of the Forest of Death, they get attacked by the Sound Ninja. At this point, Sasuke and Naruto are worn out because they had a fight with Orochimaru, leading them to become unconscious. So it's up to Sakura to protect them. This is where the Sound Ninja comes into play. The ninja already fought Lee, another rookie from Konoha, and left him unable to fight, leading Sakura once again all by herself. This is where her fight scene really starts. I remember first watching this scene and jumping with joy that Sakura was finally having her own fight scene, because up until this very moment we had none. Even though her fight with the Sound Ninja didn't really last long, it was still important to Sakura as a character. This fight was such a turning point for her fighting skills and her personality. For her personality, because she finally realized her flaws and that they needed to be fixed. And 2, her fighting skills, because it showed us what Sakura was capable of. That Sakura actually was a decent ninja despite never being used. She was able to trick 2 of the ninja there and keep up a good fight with one of them. This is coming from a girl with no clan, basic chakra levels, and no set jutsu. This shows that if given a chance, she would have been able to hold up just fine in actual battles. This goes with her fight with Inu, which further proves how good of a ninja Sakura actually is. So how they ended up fighting was because of the third portion of the tuning exams. These portions chose 2 genin at random to 1v1 each other, and whoever won that 1v1 went on to the next round. After a couple of rounds, Sakura is chosen to fight Inu, her ex-best friend. What happens in this fight is backstory between the two and some combat. Sakura was able to break Inu's strong jutsu, dodge it once before she got stuck into it, trick her, and keep up a good fight with her. Not only did this surprise the people watching, but also surprise Inu, who thought this was going to be an easy fight, easy battle, But during the fight, she was constantly wondering how she became stronger and was even questioning her about it during the battle. Same with the other rookies that were spectating. This is because everyone says that Sakura is weak, a flower bud waiting to be blossomed. No one thought that Sakura could keep up with any opponent in battle, yet she could and did every time. This is because Sakura has such a beautiful fighting spirit. She doesn't go down without a fight. This surprises people because they are used to seeing Sakura in the background, so when she's not, they're shocked. Sakura wants to prove how much of a good ninja she is, that she can be put in the front of a battle and win. She is always determined to prove what kind of ninja she actually is. This was one of the main reasons why she went to Tsunade for help, to further her ninja skills and to finally be seen as strong and not weak. Personally, I think Sakura has never been weak. She has battles that say otherwise, not to mention all the times her smartness has helped in battles and situations. It just wasn't used a lot because, you guessed it, the studio hated her. But when it was used, it showed how good she was and the beauty in her fighting style. She was able to incorporate her smartness with her fighting style, and it worked against the enemy, as we see in part 1, in her personal story, and missing pieces of part 2. Not to mention that she had great chakra control. To add more evidence to this section, I would like to mention Sakura in the movies are top tier. Her Cherry Blossom Blizzard in the Land of Snow movie is perfect and should have been used in the show. They cared more about Sakura in the movies than in the show, and it's sad because I feel it should be the opposite way around. They should care more about her in the show because that's the one most people watch. I haven't watched all the movies that Sakura's in, so I don't know how she is in every single movie, but I did watch the Land of Snow one and the Crescent Moon Kingdom one, and I would like to say that if Sakura fought like that and had character growth and was written how she was in those movies in the show, we wouldn't be here today. because, she would actually be more liked. Anyway, I can't talk about Sakura's ninja styles without talking about her and Shippuden. I won't go too much in details because everyone knows that Sakura is strong in part 2, but I can't not mention it. Her most notable fights was her against Sasori, her versus the Jubi clans, and her versus Madara. Even though she made mistakes in part 2 as well, it doesn't take away how much she did in that part of the show in Shippuden. I mean, she's just that girl, and I fear no one can compete with her. Anyway, to sum this all up, Sakura is a beautiful character. She has always been strong, and people miss that. She realized her faults and worked to change them. She proved time and time again how strong she is and how hard she was willing to work, that she had a goal and strive towards it. People love to push her aside and act like she was nothing, but she wasn't nothing. She was a great ninja with a big heart, and people hated that she actually had good skills and trades when used properly. And so what that she was a bit behind and boy crazy in the beginning. She ended up catching up with them and got the guy. People love hating on Sakura when every reason can be explained or proven wrong. I love Sakura. Even though they barely gave her storylines, the one she was given, I liked. I feel like her being behind and her feeling bad about herself made her real. I feel like people can relate to that because I know I did. I know I just ranted about how Sakura isn't weak, but making her weak made her payoff even better. I just wish they dialed down on it a bit and didn't make it really, really big. But personally, I can relate to that because I feel like I've been seen as weak a lot when I was younger, or the annoying one, or having to prove that you're not weak. And I feel like that's the true beauty of her, that so many people can relate to her on different levels, from her big crush on Sasuke to her doubting herself. There's so many parts of Sakura that you can relate to, and it's so important to have that in the show, especially in a female character. And with that, that's the end of this video. I hope you liked it. I spent a lot of time on it, so please like and enjoy. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, month, year, and I hope I see you guys again. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.